It's a really cool piece of software that comes with, I think, some awesome training that's launching on Thursday. Normally, I wouldn't just, create a webinar just to show you all something like this. I'd just shoot a video, but this, I think, is definitely worth it. So let me know, and you can see it working in this window right here. Let me know if you can hear me and also see. I got a ton of stuff working. I'm doing this on my laptop. I got a ton of stuff working on my computer right now. I want to make sure that you can actually hear me and see the screen. And I'm going to, I might butcher your name, and so let me, because I do that a lot without really trying to. So let me apologize at first. Is it pronounced Ellen or Elon? So Ellen would be one, Elon would be two. I know you and I have been going back and forth with some ticket stuff. Let me know if, we haven't resolved that. Okay, I got it. It's Elon. It's nice to have you on a webinar. This is wonderful. And I see a bunch of people here. Rick, you're hearing, and hopefully y'all are seeing. Let me see if I can expand this this window pane. Bill, I got a ton of cool people on here. I love it when I see people I know and people I don't know. I mean, it just really is cool. So I promised you a short webinar. We're going to do it. Let's just start with the software, which you're seeing. And I want to tell you what this is, but I also want to tell you why. Okay, do you see that window, Agile CRM? Forget that. That's another experiment I'm making, okay? So just forget that's there. I'm basically working on a new piece of software. But anyway, what you're looking at right here is this window right here where it says checking profiles, found 56. And I'm going to show you what all this is. I tell you, we can just stop that process. So I've had this going maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Not bad. So yeah, let's get going. I got a ton of stuff to tell you. I'm going to try to do it real fast. This will be downloaded, put up on YouTube, put up somewhere on a web page. I will be emailing you that so you can relook at this if you want to. So here's the deal. I talked with Corey Sanchez probably 2 weeks ago. Actually did an interview with him. Well, that's me. But he and I did an interview together, which was a really, really cool interview. And he showed me his new software called BizBoom, which comes along with some training. Now, I'm not going to show you everything in the training. I am going to go over the high points, okay? I mean, y'all are intelligent people. You're capable of figuring this stuff out for yourself. I'm just excited because this is like really, really cool and much needed software. And I'll tell you why. I mean, you can see a lot of why I think it's cool, but I'm going to tell you some of the background of this so you understand why I'm super excited about it. But anyway, Corey showed this to me, and he and his team are launching this on the 19th, which should be Thursday, I believe. Today's the 16th, so yeah, Thursday, 11 o'clock. Of course, we're putting together a huge bonus page for you guys. You don't have to get this, but frankly, I think it'd be kind of insane not to if you want to use LinkedIn in your prospecting. But the bonus page is going to have a lot more than just, some bonuses. I want to include a lot of what I teach in terms of LinkedIn prospecting. So let me show you what we got. Let's just minimize this window a second, okay? And if you got any questions, just shoot. I love questions. I got a question pane open here. I can see them. So I got on LinkedIn right before the webinar started, and as you can see, I was searching roofers in the greater Atlanta area, and I'm searching second-tier connections. So for those of you who aren't like totally hip on LinkedIn, which is fine if you're not, I mean, that's, a lot, you want to be, but if you're not, that's totally cool. That's why you're here, right? Let's go over how that would happen real fast. So here I am. You can see my, face and my name. says LinkedIn.com feed. When you log into LinkedIn, you're going to see exactly the same thing, except you're going to see your version of the same thing, right? Now, if I want to search for something, I can just click there and it says people, jobs, content, companies. Well, I'm searching for people, right? Because as a marketer, I want to connect with people as decision makers, right? So, just click that and see now my searches for people. And now look at this tab, connections. So a lot of y'all are going to know this because a lot of y'all have been on webinars with me all about, but because a lot of y'all have been on, I was laughing at somebody's comment, a lot of y'all have been on webinars with me and you understand how LinkedIn works, okay? Because I love LinkedIn. I'm very good at marketing through LinkedIn, and I love explaining to people how LinkedIn works, because if you don't understand fundamentally how LinkedIn works, LinkedIn is really confusing and not very useful, but if you do understand how it works, it's really, really useful. So notice I clicked on this pull down window. These are called, that says connections, and it says first, second, third, okay? So first level connections are people that, since we're in my account, I am directly connected with. Okay, so see this guy, Harry Poisson, or whatever, however he pronounces his name, it says first right there. Well, if I were to go scroll through all the people that I'm directly connected with, Harry's going to be, I'm directly connected with like 7,500 people, but Harry's going to be one of those people, right? That's a first level. We sometimes call that a first tier, or we also sometimes call that a direct connection. So you'll hear me using all three of those terms interchangeably: first level, first tier, direct connection, because Harry and I are directly connected. See if I can find another one that I'm not directly connected with. Okay, look at Camille Anderson. This lady right here. Now look how that says second, all right? And let's go back up here. And so that's what this is talking about. So second level, also called second tier or indirect connections. These are people that are connected, and I'm going to try to say this clearly. These are people who are connected with someone who is connected with me. I have no idea if this is true, but let's suppose that Camille was connected with Harry, and Camille is not connected with me, otherwise this would say first, okay? But let's suppose that Camille was connected with Harry, and Harry's connected with me, so it goes Lee, connected with Harry, connected with Camille. Got that? Those are indirect, second level, second tier connections. And in terms of, and the third level's the same idea, right? But in terms of LinkedIn marketing, the gold is in those first and second tier connections, especially in those second tier connections. Well, let's just do this. Okay, if I apply this filter here, notice I haven't searched for anything. I'm just listing my first level connections. I'm connected with almost 8,000 people as my first level or, first tier connections. Now let's go down here and look at how many people that I'm indirectly connected with. That's over 1 million people. That's a lot of folks. Did you see how fast that grew? I go, and just so you know, my wife is walking in. My dogs love my wife. We have rescue dogs. They're about to go totally ballistic. And it is what it is. Just think Lee loves animals, and we do our best to try to help and protect them. So animals are like little kids that you can't train. We try to. So if you hear barking, et cetera, my dogs love me. They completely adore my wife. So now back to the ranch. So look at the first level connections. Let's just look at the first level connections. I'm trying to get, Doug, absolutely right. I'm trying to get into your head how remarkable this is, that it could grow this fast. Okay, so my first level connections, 7,850, right? Okay, so almost 8,000. And then my second level connections. So it goes from almost 8,000 to over 1 million. Do you see how fast that grew? And the reason is because these second level connections, like every first level connection is connected to a bunch of people, right? So when I add another first level connection to my account, like when I connect with somebody, then all the people that person is connected with become my second level connections. Now, the gold in LinkedIn is very much in the first level connections, but it's especially in the second level connections. And really, really, really what you want to do is you want to learn how to reach out, connect with, and nurture these second level connections so that they become first level connections. The reason being is this, and I'm trying to give you the short story rather than the long story, but this will help you understand the software. The reason being is this: a first level connection you can message without paying any money, no in-mails. You can just message them. So let's just illustrate this. And then we'll get to the software and we'll get to Corey's training, which I just thought was amazing. So here's Harry. Look, you see that button? Message. I mean, I don't want to at this moment, but bam, right? Well, okay, it looks like Harry and I have actually spoken, okay, back 2-3 years ago. So, and Harry, if you see this video, or what did I just do? It's amazing I can function, right? If you see this video and I said I didn't remember you, my bad. I got tons of people in my world, but I value you, okay? But anyway, here we are. Notice I can message Harry. I could just sit here and write Harry a message. Bam, we're done. Nothing you know, no in-mails. Let's get rid of this. Again, ignore this. This is Lee making an experiment. But anyway, you know, see how important that first level connection is, because I can go through my first level connections when I know how, and I can start messaging them and marketing to them in a very, very conversational way that's not going to cost me any money. Okay, so that's why we get really, really excited about building up those first level connections. Let's go back to the second level connections. Okay. Now notice Meredith is a second level connection. I can't message Meredith. I can send Meredith a connection request, which I can suggest to Meredith that she accept my connection request and thus grow my, you know, grow the people that I'm connected with, which I just explained mathematically is a very good idea, right? But I can't message her. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right here. All right, so notice I'm on a free account also. I tend to flip-flop back and forth from a paid account, it's about $80 a month, to a free account. I get so much business out of LinkedIn in just a month or two that I don't really need you know, the paid account for like 6 months more or a year more, and so I mean, why pay the money, right? So I just dropped back down to a free account for a long time. Lisa, okay, Lisa's got a great question. I'm going to go ahead and answer this right now. I'm not on LinkedIn. This is Lisa talking. I'm not on LinkedIn, but have been thinking about it. Will this software work for me being new to LinkedIn? Absolutely, it will. And Elon, now that I know how to pronounce your name, hello again. Have I gotten a lot of clients? Most of the clients that I've gotten have been from LinkedIn. All right. I mean, I adore LinkedIn. All right. I also do cold calling, which I know not a lot of people do. But linked, I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook, you've got Pinterest, you've got Instagram. I love Pinterest. I have no idea what to do with it, though. You have Instagram. What did I leave out? Facebook, right? You got all that stuff. I mean, think about what those are for. Pinterest is pinning pictures. Twitter, God knows what that is for, just, you know, spewing poison out into the universe, I guess. I'm just joking. Instagram's pretty cool. I tend to like Instagram, but, you know, I mean, what do you see when you log on to, you know, when you get on Instagram on your phone? I mean, you see lots of pictures of people at the beach, right? Or, you know, family pictures, blah, blah, blah. Of all these social media platforms, the only one that's dedicated to business and business people who want to grow their connections, but especially who are looking for deals, looking for people to buy stuff from them, the only one of all those is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is all about business. Facebook is not all about business. Facebook is, well, my 20-year daughter informs me that Facebook is for old people now. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But Facebook is, again, it's all about friends. It's about stuff like that. Yes, you can do a ton of cool stuff with Facebook marketing, especially if you know how to do Facebook ads and bots and all that stuff, and that's really cool. But in general, people on Facebook, not always, I'm not talking about every single one, but in general, people on Facebook, people log into Facebook to see what stuff everybody else is saying, just about stuff. They're not there necessarily for business purposes. LinkedIn is all about business. All right, so Lisa, it will work for you, and Elon, this software is going to be excellent for newbies. So kind of gave you, and anybody else got a question, just hit me up. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to scroll back through the questions. So if I miss you, you know, I'm just, Elon, you can tell I'm excited too, right? I mean, I've been excited ever since Corey showed me this, but yeah. So guys, if I miss a question, I'm not trying to ignore you. I just have this little tiny window in front of me that you can't see where I can see questions, and so if y'all are typing in questions, they tend to scroll up, and I tend to lose them. So my point being, if you got a question and I didn't get to you, please just repost it and we'll get to it before we leave. So that's the general gist about LinkedIn. Now, so you can, and I do and have for a very long time, do quote unquote marketing stuff on LinkedIn manually, right? In other words, I can come here and when I train people about LinkedIn. Bill, that's a great question. Can we hold that until I show you the software again? Because I want to pull up the spreadsheet that it's making. Okay, I'm having a senior moment. What was I saying before I read Bill's thing? Okay, Rick, LinkedIn is superior. Well, anyway, let me just start over. Here we go. You know, I am, Denise, absolutely a replay will be up by tomorrow. Manual marketing, Adrian, God bless you. Thank you so much. You know, it's hell getting older, but anyway, I just have too much cool stuff in my head is the problem. But anyway, manual marketing, right? So you can do LinkedIn just fine marketing manually. And by that, I mean, I can come here and I can search roofers, you know, like if I'm really interested in marketing to roofers. Now notice I've got, I should still have second tier connections. If it doesn't have second tier code, okay, fine. Let's do it like this. Okay, so out of my 1.3 million people, looks like about 71,000 of them, their profiles have something to do with roofing, okay? Harold Davis, HD Roofers, I'm guessing that's Harold Davis Roofers, right? Greater Atlanta area. Taylor, marketing, a marketer at Rough Roofers. Marketing and contracts coordinator at Rough Roofers. If you were wanting to market to roofers, I'm guaranteeing you, Taylor is the decision maker, right? I mean, she's sitting there doing the marketing for them. This would be a fabulous person for you to connect with. And you can see that we pulled up a ton of roofers. Some of these are going to be false positives. Handyman is self-employed, so maybe Oh, that's cool. On the Hawaiian Islands. Handyman is self-employed. Maybe his profile says something about roofing. I don't know. Still might be a good one for you. General contractor, maybe not, whatever. Okay, so you'll get a few false positives, but look how many of these I came up with. Now, granted, it does have to do with the size of my first tier connections, which is why I'm going to include some training as a bonus if you decide to buy Corey's thing on the 19th through me. And that training is going to be all about how for you to build out your LinkedIn account in a proper and safe way. I'll tell you about safe in just a second, because that's critically important. So that you can easily, we're talking about easily within a couple of 3 weeks, all right? Get up to where you have your account sizable enough to where you're connected with enough first tier people so that those second tier connections start to yield some huge results for you, okay? My son, who works for me now, he's the lead programmer for me. He got into LinkedIn probably about 3 years ago, and he spent like, I don't know, 3 weeks going from zero. He didn't even have a LinkedIn account. I mean, at the time, he would have been about 17 or 18. I mean, what does an 18-year-old need with a LinkedIn account, right? But he started with his LinkedIn account, brand new, zero, built it up to over 1,000 first-tier connections within, I think it was like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. So if you're new, don't let that stop you. But if you are new, make sure that you access my bonus training so that you know how to go about building out your account rapidly and safely. So this is how cool LinkedIn is. I mean, you know, let's say I had something that I was doing with roofers or wanted to, and you can also do locations, by the way. And notice, again, it's a free account. This is not, I'm not using Sales Navigator, okay, which is a great piece of, which is a great part of the platform, but it is about $80 a month, which is not prohibitive if you're making some money, but if you're just getting kind of started out, it's another $80 a month, right? But notice that even with a free account, I can I can tell this thing to, you know, sort this by first and second tier connections. I can put in locations. Now this has, notice this has countries, but it also has some cities like Greater Atlanta area. And the reason it has Greater Atlanta area is I just typed in Atlanta into this, Atlanta, Georgia. And that's why it has Greater Atlanta area. And at one point I would have typed in New York, okay? This is not so helpful to us, current companies, because generally those of us who do local business marketing or social media marketing, most of us tend to market to smaller businesses, but that does not mean that you're not going to find some companies on here. I tend to use the connections and locations a lot more, and then also up here where I can actually search for a keyword. But you can see how powerful this is. Now, let's say I wanted to get in touch with Harold, all right? Well, one, I'm going to have to be connected with him, okay? Two, let's see if he's got a website. So look, I mean, maybe if I click through this and go to his website, who knows? Okay, sales at HD Roofers. I have no idea if that's a really good email for him or not. In other words, look, it took me 2 or 3 clicks to get to his email. And so you could, if you wanted to, in addition to marketing to Harold just through LinkedIn, I wanted to get back to my search here. I guess I can do it that way. In addition to just marketing to Harold Davis through LinkedIn, through messaging, it is also really, really cool. If you know how to use it in a non-offensive business-like way, it is also really cool to have his email, right? Unfortunately, it's kind of hard. You know, I mean, you notice there's like 3 clicks, and then I think I looked for Taylor's email a little earlier and didn't find it. So if I'm going to go through and build an email list, all right, not just find 1 or 2 emails, but if I want to build an email list so that This should get you really excited. I can use automation to start doing my marketing for me, not spamming or anything like that. And yes, it is completely within the CAN-SPAM Act. It is completely quote unquote legal for you to voluntarily send an email to a business email. Okay, there's nothing there's nothing unkosher about that. That's a totally cool thing to do. But my point is, if I'm going to build a list, then I'm going to have to go through here and find these or not find these, and I don't know if they're good emails and all that stuff, and it's a pain in the neck. Now, it's okay because it is a good thing for you to build a list. I love, and my business depends a lot on email marketing, if not like 90% on email marketing, but building that list can be a little prohibitive because you want to get the list fairly large, right? So building the list can be a little bit prohibitive in terms of how much time it's going to take you to do it. Now, there is software out there, all right? So scrapers and stuff like that. And you want to pay attention to what I'm saying here very closely, because this has a lot to do with Corey's new software, BizBoom, right here, and why it's so different and why Lee, i.e. moi, is so excited about it, all right? David, I was just going to use that as an example. There is software out there that will scrape LinkedIn. There is software out there that will, through various ways that we can do stuff, with the internet that can quote unquote pretend to be a human being, pretend to look at profiles, pretend to interact, et cetera, et cetera. And someone said duck soup, DUX-SOUP is an example. There's several out there that do that. Actually, one company is run by a friend of mine. And I'm not really dissing the software. I guess I am kind of dissing the software a little bit though. It is really, it's a little problematic, maybe a lot problematic using the software. Duck soup, and it's not just duck soup, DUX-SOUP. It is not just duck soup. It is this whole family of software trying to pretend to be a human, trying to interface with LinkedIn, but not through their API. Okay, it's a really good way to get your account shut down. Seriously, I know more than one person who's gotten their account shut down by using duck soup, and I know somebody. Let's see, do I know them? No, somebody told me about a friend of theirs who just started using duck soup, and like within 2 days, bam, account shut down. Did they get their account back? I don't know. I had my account shut down one time years ago because I was doing some stuff that I theoretically shouldn't have been doing. I was actually experimenting to kind of see where the limits were. But that's the only, and I got it back within a few days. I mean, they just gave it back to me. But, you go to all the trouble to build out a really solid account like mine and the kind of account you want. I'm connected with, over 7,500 people. You go to all the trouble, you put all the time into that. If you're hiring an outsourcer to do some stuff for you, which is fine for an outsourcer to do that, hear this, as long as they're not logging into your account from multiple IP addresses, that's not fine, because that tends to raise alarms at LinkedIn. But like if you had an outsourcer wherever, I don't know, the Philippines, your next door neighbor, it really doesn't matter, who was generally logging into LinkedIn from generally the same or the same few IP addresses. I mean, granted, I log into LinkedIn from different IP addresses, but they all make sense, right? I mean, it's from here in my home office, from Starbucks, or so they all make sense, but it's not like they're global, right? Okay, so yeah, David, great question. We're going to cover that. So my point being, you go to all the trouble to build out your account, or if you're hiring someone to do it for you, the expense of building out your account, the last thing you want it to do is just to get permanently shut down. And I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying there's a uncomfortably high probability that it probably will or might get shut down if you're using some of these standard software programs. like duck's soup. Now, although there was a court case recently, somebody told me about where some company sued LinkedIn, and the judge said, yeah, you know, you should be able to scrape that information. That's still not going to stop LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn's owned by Microsoft. They can hire a ton more lawyers than I can, right? And I don't want to spend several $100,000 just defending a lawsuit that I'm probably not going to win. That would be utterly stupid. So the reason that I love Corey's software so much is because, and let's see if I've got it. Did I have it working? I did have it working. I can go to, you know, I could go to my, I have no idea if Michael's email address is available, but I can go to Mike. Well, let's just do this. Click on Michael. Yeah, Doug, I'm going to explain that. So here I am on Michael. Look, Michael Wonder and BizBoom found an email address. Now, I have no idea if this email address is available from Michael's contact information or not. Well, look at that, wouldn't you? It's not available from Michael's contact information on LinkedIn. And that's really, really pretty cool, because the way the software works is the software, rather the software platform, is not finding this guy Michael's email address from LinkedIn. It is not scraping LinkedIn, and this is a critical point. Corey's company buys and spends a lot of money doing this, buys information about people like Michael, business people, et cetera, you know, like name, position, company, email address, and all that stuff. I mean, we're talking about millions of people. They buy that information. And so what the software is actually doing, and the reason that it found Michael's email address, but I clicked on there and I didn't see Michael's email address. The reason that it found that is because what BizBoom does is BizBoom takes this information, and you know, I don't know all the details. You can go over here and look at this interview, and Corey explained that. Let me pop the URL to the interview in the chat for you. Just 1 second. And y'all can go over there and take a look at it if you want. By the way, while you're over there, subscribe to my YouTube channel. For local business marketing, I think I got the best YouTube channel out there. But anyway, back to Michael. So what's happening is Corey's software, through the API, so this is totally kosher with LinkedIn. LinkedIn says this is fine. They make it absolutely available through their API, okay? So API is a programmer interface. So through the programmer interface, it gets some of Michael's information, then it compares that to Corey's massive database, and we're talking about millions upon millions in that massive database. So compares that to the database and says, aha, here's a match. Here is Michael's email address. All right, this is very, very, very cool. Elon, I'm not that familiar with Rocket Reach, so I just don't know. Now that's cool, right? I mean, that was better, right? You know, one, we got an email address that I couldn't have gotten manually through LinkedIn. Where am I? Well, I lost Michael. Here's Michael. Okay. I mean, that was better, right? You know, just click on that. This goes over, finds an email address. I could copy it and paste it into, you know, into a spreadsheet. But let me show you what's even better. Let's see if I've still got this up. What's even better is this. Now, this is what you were looking at when we actually started the webinar. Okay, now notice this is, let's just make this bigger. It's a different window right here. And I did a search for roofers in the greater Atlanta area, second tier connections. Again, forget Agile. I need to move that out of the way. And I came up with 196 results, right? And but I don't want to go through here and click on Mark and click on Jeffrey and click on Mandy. I mean, it would be worth it if I didn't have another way of doing it, frankly. It would definitely be worth it. But if software can do something for you, I mean, why do it yourself, right? Click on Mark, click on Pamela, you know, just sort of schlep around and see who's got an email address and who doesn't and all that stuff. Well, that would be okay if I had to do that and then copy and paste it onto a spreadsheet. But this software, which is so cool, will actually, if you give it the search page, in other words, if you implement the software on the search page, which is as easy as clicking. This is open. I don't want to close it yet because I want to talk about these numbers a minute, but this is open. But when it's closed, it makes a little circle here that says BizBoom. So if I wanted BizBoom to start looking for emails on this page, on these 196 results, BizBoom will go through all of these 196 results by itself, right? All you got to do is just keep that window on your computer open, and you could do this on a virtual server if you're interested in that. And it just trundles through there, and it finds emails. And then when it's done, now I stopped these results. I think it had gone through about 3 or 4 or 5 pages. How many do I have per page? I'm not sure. I'm guessing like 25 or no, maybe not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 per page, okay. Well, it had gone through a few pages. I don't know exactly how many, and found 61 emails, right? And it makes them available for me to download on a spreadsheet. So let's do that. I'll show you what you get out of this. And here's another thing. So as I was, sitting around waiting for the webinar to start, getting it going, making sure that all the little things are clicked that need to be clicked and all that stuff, so y'all can see me and hear me. BizBoom was just trundling through these listings and finding me 61 emails without me having to think about it. Well, let's download these. Puts it on a, in my case, Excel spreadsheet, and we just open that up, and I'll show you what it looks like. And just like anything, I mean, you're going to get some false positives. There's no way software is not going to give you a false positive, some false positives, all right? That's just not going to happen. But it beats the, what out of doing this yourself manually. So let's just open these up. And I mean, this is gold, guys. This is just pure gold. Hang on. I got little windows that we use to run webinars with in front of me that I'm constantly, let me move that back so you can see what that is, that I'm constantly having to move around so I can see what I'm talking to you about. But here they are, the names. Now these, out of all the results that the software looked through, and it looked through several pages and got 61 results, okay? Out of all those results, it comes for the ones where it can find an email, where it can find a match and give you an email, all right? For those, it builds a spreadsheet out of those, and on that spreadsheet, you get their name, you get their title, okay, like PJ Scott, Director of Sales at Peach State Restoration Consulting. David Call Now, I love that. David Call Now at First Rate Siding and Roofing Experts. Randy Bubba Russell Jr., only in the South could you have Randy Bubba. Me being a good old Southern boy, I can, that's fine for me to say that. Roofing sheet metal foreman. Okay, well, we're not really thinking about sheet metal in this case, but you get the idea, right? I mean, and again, not so maybe Bubba's not really, looks like he works at this place called Roofing Depot. So maybe Bubba's not really the one for you. It's according to how you decide to approach this. I mean, if you're just going to do a cold email approach, fine, just download them, cold email all of them, and the ones for whom the email does not make sense will just, not worry about it. But the ones for whom the email does make sense, i.e. decision makers and roofing companies, they're going to be very interested. And again, you do get some false positives, and there's no way to avoid that. Automotive service consultant. This has to do with, we could go to Phyllis's page and I could probably find the wording on the page that tripped up, basically it's tripping up LinkedIn search. This has nothing to do with BizBoom. Owner elite remodeling, specialty builders. I mean, you get the idea. You're getting a bunch of remodelers, a bunch of contractors, a bunch of roofing type companies, and you're getting all of this information. And it probably took me realistically, while I was waiting around for y'all, maybe 10 or 15 minutes to find these 61 results, okay? It's a little slow. It's not instantaneous, and quite frankly, I personally would not want it to be instantaneous either. It is going to be throttled down, the speed of it. I know this because we have software that works through LinkedIn's API, okay? It's going to be throttled down by LinkedIn. LinkedIn's not going to allow you to make zillions of calls to LinkedIn from one place, over and over again. It's going to be throttled down by LinkedIn, but that's really nothing that the software developer can do anything about. That's really more the way LinkedIn works, the way their API works. And bottom line is trundling through here and finding really good emails for you, and I love this. I love this. So I'm going to show you, I got some questions. I want to stop a minute and answer these questions. I promised you a short webinar, and as usual, it's going a little longer than I thought. That's probably because I'm just super excited. But let me just see if we have anything. David says, depending on your approach to local sales, I'd visit search link. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in other words, you can combine this. David's saying basically you can combine this with searching Google My Business listings, and it has a lot to do with what you are selling yourself. Okay, so if you're selling Google My Business stuff, you would want to check that out. But still, this is really doing a ton of work for you that you don't have to do. All right, let's see what other questions we have that might be pressing. Yeah, David says, is there any email verification within BizBoom, or should these addresses also be cleaned? Well, you're going to get some false positives. So in theory, it's according to how you decide to approach them. You may or may not want to just sort of, either you or somebody, an outsourcer, just sort of go through here and take out the the ones that are obviously not the ones you want, like Phyllis at Automotive Service Consultant, okay? Personally, I don't worry about stuff like that. I mean, if I'm doing cold email marketing, I just email them anyway. The hit rate, David, that really just has to do with, so I think, David, what you're asking is, let's say out of 100 profiles that LinkedIn found, how many email addresses would BizBoom get back to you? I think it's going to be, this is just a guesstimate from me. I have not measured this, okay? This is just a guesstimate from me running the software and playing around with. I think you're looking about 30 or 40%, just on a guess. I mean, some of them just aren't going to match up. And it is what it is, right? It's still a heck of a, look, it's not perfect, but just being honest, it's not perfect, but it is, for what this does, it is the best solution I have seen. And I've seen a ton of solutions over the years, okay? I think I've got all of the really pressing questions. So that is the software. That's what it does. That's why it's so incredibly important. The crux of why it's important is this. Well, one, it'll just sit there and build your email list for you. But two, most importantly, it is not scraping. It is not doing anything that is against LinkedIn's very clearly stated, because I've read them, terms of service, all right? And as far as I can tell, there's nothing that it's doing that's going to jeopardize your account. I actually asked Corey that in the interview. You can listen to the interview if you want and hear him talk about it some more. Obviously, he knows more about it than I do, right? So that's the software. That's what it does. That's why it's really cool. Corey's got some amazing training that goes along with this. Look, I'm not going to read you everything. That would be utterly stupid. Y'all are completely capable of making up your own minds about stuff. You know, you're adults, you're business people. I'm just going to open up a few of these tabs and point out some things. I love this getting decision maker leads. Power of 10. This video could have been made by me. I'm not going to steal the thunder and tell you what that video is about, but hang on, Elise. But that video could have been made by me. That is a really, really, you need to look at all of these videos, but especially pay attention to that one. So in other words, how to use and install and how to find business owners. But I really liked advanced search techniques. You get some advanced search stuff. Now look at this. This is really, really cool. And I've known Corey quite a while. And I know that this isn't just some crap somebody thought of to sell you something, all right? This is the stuff that actually works. This is basically a collection of templates and a collection of really, really excellent prospecting approaches, okay? So, and you can kind of get the idea, right? The reply method, the call me method, the LinkedIn profile method. I mean, you can, I'm not going to explain these to you. You can look at the videos. Corey's a really good teacher. His videos don't go on forever. The website not secure method. These are ways of getting the attention of the people that you want to get the attention of, either through messaging on LinkedIn, through emailing, okay? Or what I would suggest, do both. Okay, email your prospects and message them. You're not spamming them, so don't email them several times, but email them and message them. It always helps for people to see you in more than one place, and these are great ways of reaching out. This is really, really cool. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that this is good. I mean, it's slightly off topic. It's more of an addition to this. 5 of the best email marketing examples you've never seen. This is really, really good stuff. So, Elise, you have a question. What is the name of this? Well, the name of the training and the software is called Client Boom. All right. I think that was Elise who asked that question. And now, quite frankly, you can, and feel free, Google Client Boom. Corey actually has a sales letter up for this. And if you want to pay a ton more money for the same thing, actually you don't even get the training with it, I think, just the software. If you want to pay a ton more money for the same thing, then go ahead and buy it from that link. Or you can wait until the 19th. All right, when Corey's actually launching this on the Warrior Forum at Warrior Forum type prices. And those of you who have bought stuff on, not Warrior Forum, God, I just said, for those of you who know about the Warrior Forum, I just said how old I am. But that was back in the day. I'm talking about Warrior Plus. Okay, so he's launching this through the platform Warrior Plus, which is one of the big platforms that we use, and at Warrior Plus type prices. In other words, you're going to save a ton of money if you wait for 3 days and buy this on the 11th. I don't, Andrew, how much and when to buy, Andrew? I honestly don't know exactly what price he's going to ask for this. I asked him that on the, I don't know if you were on the webinar when I did this, Andrew, so it bears doing again. This is my interview with Corey. I don't know if he's come up with a price yet or not. I did ask him on the interview what he was going to sell this for, and in all fairness, he hadn't quite decided that. Of course, that was like a week ago, something on that order, and that's fair. That's fair. But it's going to be at normal Warrior Plus type prices. Okay, that's the deal. That's the software. Now, how are you going to find out about it? Well, I'm obviously really excited about this, and I'm putting together a really, not just in terms of quantity, but also in terms of quality, a really good bonus package for you. Because I really want you to understand, Corey's got great training, and I don't really think there are any holes in it, but there's some things that I think could perhaps use some extra information. All right, and I've been teaching people how to market on LinkedIn for years, so I'm going to include some of our training as a bonus, not anything that we've created recently or that you might have bought recently. Of course, the way this works the way this works on a human level, quite frankly, has not really changed over the past 5 or 6 years, but we're going to have some videos for you all about how to market on LinkedIn. I'm really thinking about just actually doing another webinar where I show you how to take this and how to combine LinkedIn messaging with cold email marketing. I'm not promising I'm going to do that. I need to look at my calendar, but I would really like to do this. Okay, great question, Ray. Hold that thought. So that's the deal, guys. That's Client Boom. That's what it does. That's the software. Ray has a question. What's the difference between this and my LinkedIn software? Well, I've got LinkedIn software that does content marketing for you, which is another approach to LinkedIn marketing. All right. It is not instead of. This would be used along with. I mean, if you did both, Ray, you probably have bought this from me, but if you did both Corey's approach and you had a really good content marketing campaign going on, which if you use my software doesn't mean that you're going to spend a ton of your time doing that. The software is going to do it. But if you have a good content marketing campaign going on, you're going to crush LinkedIn. If you combine both of those things, you're going to crush LinkedIn. Yes, Don, the software is dependent on credits. I don't know exactly how much those are, or if Corey told me. Look at the interview, Don, because if he told me, then I forgot. They are very inexpensive. All right, they're very inexpensive. So this is not like you know how you buy a printer at the office store and the printer's cheap, but the toner's really expensive, and you feel like what you get like 4 sheets of toner. And you use that up, and then you charge an arm and a leg for the toner for your new printer. This isn't one of those deals. This is not a bait and switch deal. Corey's not a bait and switch kind of guy. It's going to be at a very low cost. But I don't know exactly how much it's going to be, Don. So I don't want to just like stick my neck out and say, well, it's going to cost X amount per 1,000 credits when I don't know and mislead you. But we will know all of this by the time this launches on Thursday. I've got a list of a few questions I need to get back with Corey about, and I'll ask him now, okay? Because I want to know too. So you do get a ton of credits when you buy this. I mean, like you get plenty of credits. 1 credit equals 1 found email. So every time the software finds an email, it uses a credit, and you get a ton of credits. So frankly, just from the initial buying of the software and the training and the initial ton of credits you get, you will be able to find hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of emails just using that. All right. So again, it's not like the printer thing, which drives me nuts, if you know what I'm talking about. Bill, thank you so much. Bill says, thank you for alerting y'all to this. Might have ignored it. Yeah, this is worth some time. This is worth you thinking about. Cool beans. It's almost an hour. I said 30 minutes, but I just get excited and start talking about stuff, all of which is cool. But any questions before we go? Anything you wish you want me to ask Corey? Any questions? I'll be happy to ask Corey. Okay, anything, ask me. If I don't know, I'll ask Corey. Cool beans, excellent. So, takes about a day for us to get a replay up. I'll have that up on a page. This will be up on the bonus page. Now, when you see the bonus page, please bear in mind that I am currently adding more bonuses to this. I'm trying to figure out the best ones I want to give you in order to complement Corey's training. All right? Hold that thought, Bill, in order to complement Corey's training. So, I haven't quite decided yet, but I want to make this an entire package for you. I'd like you to be able to buy this, get Corey's excellent training, Corey's incredible software, my bonuses, put it all together, and then you will be, just from that, a LinkedIn badass. That's my goal, all right? So, and I will do my best to make that happen. Tier 3 connections, I think that really has to do with whether you can search Tier 3 connections. I don't know really if it's, can I get to those? LinkedIn just drives me nuts. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird. See, these are third level. Okay, if y'all want to hang loose a minute, I don't, well, that says second. It should be just third. Why has it got second? Okay. Well, most of these are thirds. Well, let's just turn the software on and see what it does. See how I click build email list? It opens up a window. You can watch it working now. Forget Agile. Now, I'm not going to X out of that, but I really need to remove that. I'm kind of done experimenting with Agile CRM, which I think is frankly very cool, but it's really getting in the way of me showing people stuff. Bottom line, Bill, I don't know. Well, it's found 8 of these. Let's let it find a few more. Notice how it says waiting, 86 seconds, 85 seconds. You may be wondering, well, why is it waiting? Well, it's waiting because it doesn't want to overload the API, and it's waiting because, in broad strokes, it does not want to trigger something on LinkedIn so that LinkedIn in general gets pissed off and says, no, you can't use the software anymore. So, it will basically go through a page, find emails, and then wait for differing amounts of time, and then go through the next page and find emails. So let's stop this process. Download these results. Open this. And let's compare this to, let's look at these names compared to, I haven't done third tier connections myself. So where is my, okay, there's that. Okay, well, let's just do this. Hang on, guys. It was a great question, Bill, but let's compare, get rid of that. Let's compare a little spreadsheet here, this new spreadsheet. Matter of fact, let's make this small. And see if we can find any of these. Ronnie, okay, Ronnie, third, okay, so apparently, Bill, I think we just have an answer here. Apparently it does do third tier connections, which I didn't know. I had just been playing around with it for my own business with second level connections. Hey guys, that makes it even better, because from first tier to second tier to third tier, the number of connections that you're connected with grows exponentially. And it's not, I mean, it's like exponentially, if you know any math, with a base, it's going to be a base of like 20 or so. All right. So those of you who, I used to teach mathematics, so those of you who are not math people, don't pass out. All right. But yeah, so going down through here, doing this, finding some third tiers. And again, Tim, oh, look, Tim's a third tier. Okay. Tim's a third tier. And do we need to email a warehouse manager? I don't think we do, but the fact is all software is going to get you some things that you don't want. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. So that answers that question. Thank you, Bill, for asking that. The bottom line is it does find third tier connections, which makes it massively better. Anything else, guys? Appreciate your time.